3, 2. Intro. Right there. That's where it is. Welcome back to the M3 podcast with Jayden and Davis as usual. And today is just another boring day here in quarantine because nobody is going outside. Well, nobody should be going
Well,
outside. Everyone's going
nobody should
outside,
be,
which
yeah,
is weird.
nobody should be going outside into their vehicles, driving into other buildings, and then going into the mall to interact with other people.
Yeah, nobody should be going for things that aren't necessary. Holy shit, that was so long and drawn out. I was like, where's this going? It's gonna take a while.
Yep.
But yeah. For us, that means we are staying inside as per usual. You know.
I went for a walk today, but
Yeah. That's
yeah.
here's the thing that I found about the COVID-19 situation. Before we get onto the itinerary of what this episode's going to be about, a little side rant before the side rants of the big rants. So, what I've noticed is there are so many fucking people outside now compared to if COVID-19 wasn't happening. And it's like, it's not because, oh yeah, you see more people because there's no school, there's lots of people's jobs are shut down. It's like, no, literally, everyone's going outside because they think they're all gonna die. So it's like, I might as well go get some fresh air. I can't stand being cooped up in the same house for 5 weeks. Oh no, like, dude, you can go outside. You can go for a walk. That's fine. What pisses me off is like 20 people going for a walk all together. It's like,
No,
spread yourself out according, like, appropriately. You're fine. But
mhm.
when they're
Yeah, the
all like
most I
grouped
saw
together.
was most I saw today. I saw quite a few groups of two.
Mhm.
Obviously like parents and their kids or spouses or what have you. And
Mhm.
then I saw, I think, like five like preteen kids,
Yeah.
probably around like they would have been around the age of like 12 or something like that
Yeah.
in a group.
Yeah. It's really
Eh,
weird to
kind of
see.
pushing it a little bit, but oh well.
Mhm. There's a lot of that's a lot of people are pushing this kind of stuff, but it's like apparently there's a lot of like fear mongering going on or something like that. That's what I saw on a tweet recently. It's just like YouTube deleted a video of fear mongering where it's like
Mm.
these two doctors talk about like COVID-19 and the fear mongering that's going on by the state and shit like that. I'm like, I have no idea what this is about,
Did
honestly.
you, speaking about misinformation, do you hear about I didn't I'm completely paraphrasing here because I didn't actually watch it or listen to it, but I've just been
Spoiler
seeing
alert, by
like
the way. Spoiler alert.
all it is just Trump apparently said um to add detergent or cleaning product, like ingest it or something to cure COVID-19 or
What the?
coronavirus.
He's telling people to
He
fucking
he was
eat.
being sarcastic, but the American people are stupid. Like
Of course, of
even
course. It's the
yeah
Tide Pod
yeah
Challenge V2.
that's what I was just
Fucking
gonna say, because
idiots.
that's basically where I heard it was a guy on TikTok saying like, no, don't be like, they had to actually put up like videos
Yeah.
of people being like, don't do this.
Yeah, no.
Not yeah, because Americans are not that
Americans are
intelligent.
dumb. It's like a really shitty bleach martini if you think about it. It's just eating straight detergent. Like my family and I, my older brother's birthday was 2 days ago. Shout out to him. So we were all having drinks and stuff like
Perfect.
that. Like, uh, of course, keeping separate distance, as you usually do. And fucking he, like, we were talking about Trump or something. It's like, hey, does someone want to make Trump a drink? I'm like, yeah. How about a bleach martini? This is his favorite kind of
Yeah,
drink. And especially after these detergent jokes, like, yeah, he can take that one fucking straight to the mouth.
yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
let enough about Donald
but yeah,
Trump. We're done with
that's true.
that stupid human being. So let's talk about some cool stuff, some weird stuff, some uh very funny
Okay,
stuff.
stuff.
Okay, stuff. Yeah, let's talk about stuff because we're on a podcast. We like to talk about stuff.
Stuff. That's
Stuff.
what this is all about. It's talk about
Exactly.
stuff.
It's just stuff. So we have the release date for Destroy All Humans, the revamped game back from our 1990s nostalgia. So
Woohoo!
we're gonna be talking about that a little bit. Um,
Was it 90s? That I don't think it was
no, it's
90s
the
when it originally
2000s.
came
I'm
out.
just saying that
I'm like,
because we're 90s
I'm like,
kids.
it's not that old.
No, when did Destroy All Humans come out?
Because it was on Game. GameCube and PS2.
Yeah, so that's like early 2000s.
Early 2000s, like 2003, my guess.
2005.
Oh,
You're
that's
pretty close.
close.
Yeah, so that's when the original Destroy All Humans came out. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that a little bit. I'm gonna be talking about some tweets that I saw online that are very
Twitter.
interesting. Twitter, of course. Twitter is the most interesting place on the planet right now because everyone's on there making their fucking opinions. Then he wanted to talk. Davis wanted to talk about Kevin Smith a little bit, and I got a new Netflix recommendation for you. It's really weird. I don't know why I started getting into it, but I have, and you know what? I'm very, very happy about it. And then I have enrolled in my classes, but nobody fucking cares about that. So we're just gonna skip right into Destroy All Humans stuff. So,
Sounds good.
Destroy All Humans, the beloved game from 2005. It's getting its revamp, as we know. We've reacted to the trailer. We've talked about it quite a bit. So,
Hmm.
of course, with a game release like this, they're gonna be releasing special editions. So they're gonna give like in bonus in-game goodies, bonus in real life goodies, stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. So the first one that we have here is the Destroy All Humans DNA Collector's Edition, which is pretty
Hmm.
dope. So it comes with this Crypto and Cow figurine. That's actually super cool. I would like to buy that just by itself.
Yeah.
Some lithographs. What the fuck is a lithograph? Let me Google that real.
I've heard lithographs are. I know I've heard that term before.
It's
They're
like
like
an
cards.
oil and water painting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you get like six of these painting things. Um, you get a keychain, which is pretty cool. This little pop figure guy, which I'm not too happy about. You get the premium box, which is pretty cool, and all the crypto skins. So there's going to be skins in the game. The trailer already talked about it or showed us a
Hmm.
little bit about it, which is super cool. So if you
Yeah, the
pre-order,
one. What was the one they showed in the trailer? What was
it's
it? It
like a
was like a
clown one.
clown. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like a clown head.
So you can be a killer clown back from like what 2016, and
2016,
yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
killer clown, but in Destroy All Humans form. So that will run you $150 on Amazon, and you can pre-order it. Oh, and it comes. Oh, that's what that is. It's not a figurine. That's a stress ball. Oh my god, that is weird. I'm a little bit
Yeah, it
more okay
makes.
with it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least it's somewhat useful.
exactly right.
Yes.
Stress balls are super cool. So the next one that we have is the Destroy All Humans Crypto 137 edition. So it comes with all the previous things as before, except you don't. Instead of getting that figurine, you get this 23-inch statue of Crypto. So that's pretty big. That's about probably that's way bigger than this.
Yeah.
Probably from the table up to here. That
Like
it's really weird to describe, but 23
it's
inches is a pretty big
four
fucking deal.
hundred
$400
dollars.
for and then
Who has $400 to spend on that stuff right now?
Jake Paul,
Even in general, or even in general.
Jake
Like,
Paul. Someone give
sure,
me, but yeah,
sure.
Jake Paul's the best. But I'm
Here
just
I'll
kidding.
say, how about this? I'll say Ninja because he's an actual gamer. I don't know.
Ninja,
He's the only professional gamer I know.
yeah.
Um,
There was a time where Jake Paul was considered a gamer because he was streaming on Twitch, but he didn't understand how much effort it takes to do like a 6 hour long stream, and he went from like 60,000 views in the first like hour to like barely hemorrhaging like 6,000 views a day. Like
hmm.
it was just like absolutely nuts because like people like Ninja have perfected the craft and they can keep themselves upbeat. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is just like so bored. Fortnite, yeah, like
Hence why I would never try to become
mm,
a streamer.
yeah,
Even though there are a lot of people that are starting to get into that now because of being stuck inside, like
yeah,
more than before, right?
yeah, and like
I
streaming, you
I'm
don't,
still like I don't have the entertainment value of
you don't,
caring enough
yeah, you
for
don't
people to
have,
watch me.
you don't even have to have like the most explosive, like upbeat personality, like Jake Paul does in his videos, not in his streams, mind you, in his videos. Like people, there's a guy named Hayam Gozu. He never talked on stream. All he did was just play the game. Never had a face cam. Never talked. All he did was play League of Legends at such a good level that nobody cared.
Mm.
They were just like, I
See,
want
but
to.
I'm not. I'm neither though. I'm not
You said you're
good
good at
enough.
fighting games. Just pick up a fighting game. Just stream it, bro.
Oh, speaking about that, that just reminded me. Sorry
Uh,
to go. I'm gonna be the one
on
to go on a
another
tangent here
tangent,
for once.
the tangent of
For
a
yeah,
tangent on another tangent.
yeah.
Continue.
Hey, normally it's you, so
That's
meh.
true. I'm not. Hey, I'm not. I'm
The
not complaining. I'll just sipping my
Warner
water.
Brothers released a Mortal Kombat movie. So they're the ones who do the really good DC comic books. Like if you anything comic book related that's animated
Hmm.
movies, DC is a lot better than Marvel. Like the MCU hands down is better than DCEU for live action,
Yeah.
but for animated movies, uh, Warner Brothers they're a lot better.
Yeah.
So same company, they made a Mortal Kombat feature length film
Hmm.
called Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge.
Yeah.
Holy shit, rated like definitely rated R, like
Okay.
Mortal Kombat graphic and everything.
Yeah.
It's tells basic outline story of like Mortal Kombat, like Scorpion to Sub Zero and
Hmm.
getting into the tournament and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it has the actual like they animated it with his like for the most part they actually made the animation of the fight styles very similar to what the actual characters' fight styles are,
Hmm.
and they even included the like the bone breaker, this X-ray scenes that you can get from 10 Mortal Kombat 10, I think,
Yeah.
on. So that actually it holy shit, it was so good.
I gotta. Now I got something
So
else to watch. What is it on? Amazon?
I don't know what it's on.
Well, one day it'll come around and I'll have to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
but yeah,
well,
that was a
there you
random.
go.
Just that, as you said,
Davis
that made me
approved.
remind me of that. But like, if you have a chance to see it, like it's brutal. Like it's whole. You don't think cartoons can be because it's a
Oh,
cartoon,
of
but
course.
oh, this
Yeah,
is bad.
it's brutal. So,
Like it's worse. It's worse than like Logan and Deadpool combined for like gore.
yikes, that's
Yeah,
pretty rough. Because I remember the scene from Deadpool 2 where he's chopping a bunch of dudes like limbs off in the bathhouse. That fucked me
yeah,
up. That was just like, holy shit, that's brutal.
yeah. So again, it's a little more toned down because it's cartoon compared to live action, but still,
Yeah,
oh,
there,
so good.
so good. So yeah,
But
Davis approved. What would you rate that movie out of 10?
um, like an 8.5.
Solid.
It's really good. Like the story's really good. There's a little bit of like meh parts, but not that much. The animation is really good, and it has um since what's the voice the actor what's his name who plays Jeff in Community.
Oh, Joel McHale.
Yeah, he's not the main character, but he voices Johnny Cage.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I think it was good. I liked it,
Yeah, there you go.
and it yeah, I had good characterization for people that know the lore of Mortal Kombat, and
Yeah,
even if you don't know the lore of Mortal Kombat, you can still know this still a good like ninja story.
yeah, there you go. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's get back
Random
on
tangent,
topic.
sorry, but let's
Random
get back.
tangent.
Yep.
Yeah. So the other thing that I sent this to Davis just solely on this thing, the fucking backpack on this Crypto 137 edition of the game. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, listen, I get it. Fucking thick boy over here. It's just like dummy thick, but what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is gonna wear this backpack? Only like serious fans that are gonna go to like Destroy All Humans conventions. That's the only way I can see this being used.
Yeah, I was gonna say where at like gamer cons
Yeah,
I like cons like
but even then,
that'd be the only.
it's like I feel like it's ironic at that point. It's not real.
Yeah, but then well, there are people that have like anime backpacks and stuff
Hmm.
like that too, right?
Yeah,
So I personally wouldn't wear it. You obviously wouldn't either, but I could see it would have a small market where it would.
a small niche market. I just don't
Yeah,
think it's worth $400.
yeah, exactly. To get the bag game and statue,
Hmm.
that's maybe maximum two
Yeah.
hundred.
I bet like a lot of them are gonna go on sale. A lot of people are gonna buy it for everything except the backpack. I can see that happening, and then just having like a bunch of them on Amazon for like $5. But that's just me. That's all.
Yeah,
I can see it like that, but I have no clue.
because like as we were saying before we started here, like it looks like you can't even put like a laptop or anything in it. So
No.
you would carry around like your hard drive,
Pencils?
maybe
Yeah.
your phone,
A
but like
book? Yeah.
yeah,
Like it's
carrying
barely
around the
wider than the
game.
person's back. It's like the thickness of their neck. That's like how wide it is. So like what can you fit within my neck is essentially how I'm yeah, exactly, right? So what can you fit within someone's neck? Like maybe some food. That's like the most useful thing I could think of. But at that point, I was like, why would you not just get a lunch kit, or why would you not get another backpack that can fit more than that?
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
just a troll. It's just a troll at that point. But anyways, to each
But
their own. Whoever wants to buy
yeah,
that edition for the backpack, you can fucking prove me wrong and find some good way to use it. But I just don't think it's useful. So
yeah, definitely
anyways,
not.
let's move on to the next topic. So I have to share this with Davis. Actually, no, I don't. That's a lie.
Oh
So
no, I was just gonna say before we move, like this is I would probably actually myself get the $40 version of this
yep,
game.
yep.
Like it
Get the
gives me
remake.
enough of incentive for it only being $40, and I
Mhm.
liked it a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when I was a kid, but I wasn't that much of a kid in 2005. But anyway,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I enjoyed it, and it would be a game that I would play to get me off of Call of Duty for an
Mhm.
hour, and then go back onto Call of Duty.
Yep. There you go. So I would do the same thing as well. I'd probably buy it and then play it for a bit, and then just like boom, back to League of Legends. Boom, back to
Yeah,
RuneScape.
but you would still try to achievement hunt,
Yeah.
and there would probably be certain achievements that you can't unlock unless you have the whatever like advanced version, and then that would
No,
bug
they
you,
don't do
and
that.
then that would bug you, and then you would have to fucking get
No.
the
If they did that, I would just be like, "Hey, I'm not even buying this game. Like you're really going to like player lock it out." Like that's the thing. I remember when Xbox 1 came out, they came out with an edition uh of the Xbox One console called the Day One Xbox. And if you got it, you get like this little engraving on your Xbox and on your controller that said Day One, and you get like a few specific achievements for it. It's like zero gamer score. You bought the Xbox console Day One. It's like wow, achievement hunters are gonna buy that for no fucking reason other than just like cool. This console may be shit, and it came out as shit. It was like $100 more expensive than the PS4, and it was like breaking discs, overheating,
Mhm.
crashing, super slow. It was so bad. The old Xbox One. So don't
So
buy it.
in other words you wouldn't spend the extra money just for an achievement,
No, no,
even you.
no.
Mm.
Like
Oh, you're
least
not right. You were saying you're not 100% an achievement hunter hardcore as bad anymore anyway. So
yeah. Like here's the thing with me. I think like most of my gaming stuff comes in phases for the most part. Like except like League of Legends. Like that's the only one that's really stayed consistent with me. Um, with most things, it's like I usually don't play games unless they're for achievements or like I have friends in them, kind of
mhm.
thing. Like when I got all the achievements in Minecraft on the Xbox 360, I just kept playing because I was like, cool, let's build worlds with my friends because we're all fucking 12 years old and we're doing that. But nowadays, it's like during the summer, I was a hardcore achievement hunter because I was like, hey, I have time. We have this Game Pass. I might as well just like crank it out, and that's what I did. That was what I was super passionate about. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
how it was. And then when I got back into League, it's like, yeah, this is way more fun than doing this shit over and over again. So
makes sense.
yeah, and it's like some of the
Hmm.
games aren't worth the effort of trying to put in those hours. Like the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 campaign, it's like that game could fuck right off. The fact that I have to go through every game on like hard and difficult, or every single level on hard and difficulty without dying is brutal.
Hmm.
And it's like I don't care how many bionic fucking enhancements you have. You could have one that blocks all bullets. Somehow, some dude is gonna snipe you from across the map. Fucking AI robots or some shit. But anyways, then getting a little bit
Yeah.
off topic. So speaking of games that I would play, if they came to consoles, Square Enix, the creators of one of my favorite games of all time, Octopath Traveler, came out
Hmm.
with the announcement that they are releasing it on the Google Stadia.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Why the fuck are you doing that? Why Google Stadia? Nobody's asking for Google Stadia. That's so stupid. The only thing that like came that like was a plus for this is, in addition, a Korean language patch is on its way to all platforms this summer. That's cool.
Okay.
Having like a Korean language patch so you can hear all the voices in Korean, because Korean voice acting is pretty good sometimes. So, but like, why the fuck are you going to this dead console? Nobody likes this thing. They're
Probably to
really,
try to revamp the Stadia
yeah,
to try to get
yeah. But
people on it.
here's the thing: it's already on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is one of the greatest consoles of our generation, and it's on PC. And PC
Mhm.
users fucking love to buy games. So if they find it, they're just gonna play it on the PC or on a Nintendo Switch. The fact that it's not going to other consoles like PS4 or Xbox, where they could generate a
Oh,
ton of revenue.
that's why.
That's the
Okay.
salt. Yeah, because it's fucking Google Stadia, dead console, dead meme.
Oh, I thought it was as well as Xbox and PS4,
No, if it
like,
was,
but it's going instead of those. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
it's going
I see
instead.
the frustration.
Like, why the fuck is it going there? This doesn't make any logical sense.
Because Google must have paid them money.
Exactly. Google's probably hemorrhaging money from Google Stadia. Like, let's be real here. The servers that they have to have and the fact that nobody is buying this shit means that probably no one's playing on it. Let us know if you're
Yeah,
playing on it, because I would fucking love to meet the people that actually bought and played this shit.
yeah, but again, it's similar to like when Disney Plus first launched. Disney was losing money,
Mm-hmm.
but they're Disney. They can afford to lose some money. Same thing with Google. I'm sure they can afford to lose some money
Mm-hmm.
because they have all the money.
Yeah, exactly. Google.
So I think my guess is that's probably why, because Microsoft and Sony didn't want the game or couldn't pay enough for it or whatever, and Google
Mm-hmm.
was the higher bidder for it type thing
Yeah,
or whatever. So that might have been
there you go.
that's my guess
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just think it's a terrible move. You honestly should have just moved it to Xbox PS4, and that would have been an amazing fucking venture for you guys, but I don't know. Square Enix has to fuck up my day like this. I hate it. Just bring it to Xbox so I can play it again and get all the achievements. That's a game I would stream again. Like,
As you were just saying, you're not
like
too
I'm not a
concerned
huge
about
fan.
achievements.
Like I'm not a huge like Xbox player too much anymore, because I spend all of my time playing League of Legends. Because League of Legends, you have to basically be on top of the fucking world to play
Hmm.
perfectly. But I would love to play that again. I would love to play Octopath Traveler again. I lent it to my friend and now I can't get it back for now, which sucks. So it's like, if it can't come out digitally for $80 on my Xbox, I'd buy it again and then I'd stream it, because Octopath
Yeah.
Traveler is so much fun. So Square Enix,
Isn't that
fix your shit.
the one that isn't that the one that you made your transmedia
Yep.
portfolio about?
Yep.
Yeah, you wanted to make a show based off of the characters or something like that.
I wanted to do TV shows, comic books, storyboard art, stuff like that. Yeah, there was a lot of love that went into those projects. Except the video. The video was like, oh yeah, I forgot I have to hand this in 2 days, and I had to fucking scramble around to do it. And I
Hmm.
was like freaking out and super anxious and all this shit, but whatever. It's done.
Yeah,
It's over with. I'm going into marketing, so it'll get better. I'm
yeah.
Yeah, I already contacted Grant McEwen to see if we can set up a league, like an esports organization there,
Hmm.
because that's a huge part of our lives now. That's a huge part of like gaming and the like universe as a whole, because it's got ESPN too. Esports is on TV now. Esports is
Hmm.
everywhere. So I want to start up a esports organization in Grant McEwen. Well, it's not Grant McEwen anymore. It's just McEwen. I just want to start one at McEwen. Maybe start a few like teams, like Smash teams, League teams, stuff
Yeah,
like
just
that.
like the clubs at Nate.
Yeah, just
Same
like
idea.
clubs at Nate, except they actually compete for money.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I know there's like Hearthstone teams for most universities. I want to start a league team for McEwen, because I think we could probably stomp the competition in the states. But you know,
Well, see what they say. It's a good
exactly
idea.
right.
Might as well use up sometime.
They already forwarded it, but I'm gonna probably send another email once all this is done. Anyways, let's move on to this next topic. So MrBeast has been coming out with some weird shit recently. He came up with a.
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching MrBeast stuff because I stopped caring.
He's kind of like dead hype now. It's like, yeah, he's cool, and like the planting
Hmm.
trees is cool, but also an esports team is doing that now. So I would rather support the esports team than MrBeast. Not that there's anything wrong with MrBeast. It's just like I'm much more into League of Legends than I am into his random. Hey, I ate a $100,000 gold-plated steak. Like I don't
Hmm.
fucking care. And like, what does that do for me? It's just you're just gonna be like, huh? It tastes really metal and gold.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching. Boom, like it's stupid.
yeah.
But he did
He
what did he do? He did a fucking
the
rock
Rock.
paper scissors tournament the other.
Yeah, I didn't end up watching it. I saw like
Uh,
I saw a couple minutes of it since it was live, and I was like, okay, they were having issues with the connection. I was like, okay, I really don't care. Because I all the other YouTubers that were on it, I only watched like two or three of the YouTubers he had on there. So I was like, okay, I don't even care who
mhm.
wins, whatever. It's for a charity. Okay, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. And like it was the one thing that myself, and I know I saw a few times on Twitter was how ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're. Do you know that channel?
No. Not at all.
So they're three guys from Australia. They basically they're the guys that did the giant trampoline that
Mhm.
with Mark Rober.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
yeah. So one of the big thing they do on their channel is between the three of them they do rock paper scissors all the time. So they even tweeted out being like, "Hey, MrBeast, why are we not invited to this? Like
Yeah.
that's literally our thing." I'm like, yeah, that's kind of weird that
He just stole the idea.
because probably because they're small in comparison to like MrBeast.
Yeah.
They have like I don't know 500 million or something or 500 million 5 million subs or something like that.
Compared to his
So
35, yeah.
compared to his like four, no his he has like 40
That's yeah, he's closer to
like
40.
that.
That's the thing with like big YouTubers and smaller YouTubers. It's like a 5 mil channel can bully a 5K channel, but a 35 mil channel can bully a 5 mil channel. It's like you could steal all of their ideas and steal all of their content, and nobody's gonna give a shit because it's like, wow, the more popular person did it, so we're just gonna go with them, right? Because
Hmm.
of production quality, even though probably the one that is smaller has way more passion in it, right? So
Hmm.
anyways, yeah, so they came out with a $250,000 rock paper scissors tournament. I don't know what prompted this and who's benefiting from it to watch rock paper scissors, but like this
It
isn't
was
like
going to charity.
yeah, it's like oh, was it going to charity?
Yeah,
Oh, we'll
I
go
don't
to a
I think it
charity. Oh,
was
if the person's okay, yes,
yeah,
but like
person whoever won of their request, and then the live stream apparently they raised $1 million to Feeding America or something like that.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I just don't understand why people would watch that. It's rock paper scissors. It doesn't really make sense. It's like it's a good cause, but you know, I mean, some people don't like to watch esports because they don't understand the appeal to it either. So I can't really complain. But it's like this is a rock paper scissors is a game you can literally play with anyone. You can play it by yourself. You can go rock paper scissors. Fuck, I lost and I won. Right? Like other way, but you know that's just something that can happen. So anyway, he did that. But he also came out with the creator games. I don't know
Oh, I
what
didn't see
this.
that one.
I don't know what this is about. I no, I didn't watch it either. But if we're going I wanted to talk about this because I just want to make grand assumptions about shit because it's hilarious.
You
Wow,
no.
me. Yeah. So there's a lot of weird things that are going on in this. So like they have a ton of different creators. Some of them are really big like Jeffree Star, David Dobrik, Casey Neistat, Ninja, Laserbeam, Pokimane, shit like that. Jack Black, Marquez Brownlee. And then they have a bunch of them that I don't even know who they are. It's like Rosanna Pansino, Juka, Preston, Wampa. Like, who the fuck are these people? Like, I don't know who they are, but anyways, like, I look at the matchups that they have. First off, the fact that Tana Mongeau won any round whatsoever, like, fuck off. You're Tana. You're trash. You're shit. Get the fuck out. You don't deserve that. Do you know why?
No
Oh, because
clue.
like there was a whole like iDubbbz content cop on her that was like 30 minutes long of like a bunch of dumb shit she did in the past, like she said the N word and stuff like that, and she is like, it doesn't matter the context of what you say, it's the words that are super offensive. So you say if you're reading Huckleberry Finn and you have to read out the N-word, then you've actively participated in racism, even though the context dictated it's not racist because I'm saying it because I'm reading along with the book. That's the argument. So
Okay.
so she just made a bunch of stupid points, and she's like very very embellished storyteller. So like when she met iDubbbz, or when iDubbbz met her and came to her concert, or to her performance or whatever the fuck, she said that iDubbbz was like choking her, like put his arm around her neck and started like squeezing really tight, and like I threatened like iDubbbz was trying to fight people. Let me close this real quick. Like iDubbbz was trying to fight people and shit like that, even though in iDubbbz's video it's like I'm VIP, I didn't even do anything, and they just got kicked out because well he said the N word. He's like say N word, and like that was it. It's like you need to watch the video to kind of get the context of it.
Okay.
But it's really interesting. So anyways, I have a giant dislike for Tana Mongeau. The fact that she lost to David Dobrik was, or the fact that she won against David Dobrik was kind of sad, but whatever.
But
Uh,
but is it still the same that same rock paper scissors?
I have no clue what it was. I don't know if it was
Oh,
like a challenge or anything, but the fact that David, like, I'm just basing all of these results off of popularity and who should win and who shouldn't,
okay.
and who shouldn't lose. Um, Nate Shot won again, so he won two major MrBeast competitions in the same week. He won. Was it Nate Shot that won? I thought it was Nate Shot that won. Let me check.
Was he the one that won the what the 70,000 hide and seek last month?
No, was it? I have no clue.
I have no idea. I've again like I watch the occasional MrBeast video still, but I don't pay attention to like I don't know who all the people are.
hmm So
Like
Nate Shot is the creator of 100 Thieves, like the esports organization. So
okay.
I had to just Google it. Yeah, so Nate Shot won the $250,000 rock paper scissors event, and now
Hmm.
he won the creator games. Like holy shit, he's either really good or something's rigged. Something is very rigged. But I don't know. He beat Jack Black, which is makes sense. Nate Shot's a much better content creator than Jack Black is, I think. I've heard like
I haven't seen any of Jack Black's YouTube.
I've watched some
I
of his
don't
stuff.
mind
It's pretty
him.
trash. It's
Yeah, I don't
like
mind him as an actor, but
imagine like
as I
watching a Call of Duty gameplay video, but there's no Call of Duty gameplay whatsoever. It's just a hint of the guy like moving the controls. That was the Jack Black video I watched. He was playing
oh,
like an old arcade cabinet, and all that was on, all that I saw was just him moving the controls around and barely anything of the screen. It's not like
but
there's
let me
screen
guess, he still
capture.
has a couple of million subs because he's already famous.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I think he got most of his stardom from, was because Jack Black said, "Hey, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel," kind of thing. But
Hmm.
there's that.
That's the same thing with when freaking Kevin Hart and The Rock and all and Will Smith, they all created TikTok accounts and they got millions of followers within a day within one video
hmm
because they're already famous.
Exactly right. It's like, I mean, I guess they do have that kind of reputation, and they kind of deserve it because it's like, yeah, they're really really famous on it, but it's like, it's really hard to keep those numbers when you're not 100% into it. Like Jack Black, I feel like it's not 100% into YouTube. He still is doing. He did the Jumanji 2 movie and
Mhm.
stuff like that. He's still huge into acting. It's more of a side project, which I can
Yeah, which
understand.
is fine.
Yeah, which is fine.
I,
That's
I
not a big
I
deal.
I did see a video where I it just randomly showed up on my homepage. It was Vsauce 3. It was
Vsauce, Michael here.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Michael, the other Jake, Vsauce 3.
Oh.
It he Jack Black collabed with him in a video.
Hmm.
It was like paranormal stories basically.
Oh,
It
interesting.
was it was it was it was originally posted like a few years ago back in like 2016 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it just randomly showed up on my homepage again, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, so I just want to go over a few of these things, then how it should have gone. iJustine made it all the way up until Casey Neistat. I think Casey Neistat beats iJustine.
Yep,
Yeah.
agreed.
Jeffree Star versus Casey Neistat. Who Who would you say should
I
move
don't know
forward?
who the other person is,
Jeffree
so
Star. He's
Casey.
so Jeffree Star is a huge like drag. Not, I wouldn't say drag queen. No, he is huge in the beauty industry. Like he
Okay.
comes out with like makeup palettes and shit like that. Having a girlfriend in this day and age, you know everything about like Jeffree Star and stuff like that. But he also got called out to was it James Charles? And H3 called him out and said, "Yeah, you guys are, or this guy Jeffree Star is a danger to society and stuff like that," and kind of went into points of like how he is like that.
Okay.
Um, Mini Lad, I'm sorry that Mini Lad lost in the first round, but Mini Lad's a beast. I love you, Mini Lad. Quebblecop lost. Mark Rober lost in the first round to Lore DIY. Who the fuck is this person, by the way?
You don't know Mark Rober?
No, I know who Mark Rober is. I'm wondering
You
who
don't know
Lore DIY is.
Laura DIY?
Yeah.
I have seen one or two of her videos. I know that she's friends with like Try Guys.
Oh, she does music?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Guys, I feel
I don't
like
know. Yeah, heard her name in the YouTube spiel before.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's just like Mark Rober deserves better. Anyways, I'm very biased. Ninja versus Laserbeam. So Ninja and Laserbeam are both Fortnite YouTubers and streamers. Laserbeam
Okay.
is the Aussie version of Ninja, and I find him much more entertaining than Ninja. So
Okay.
it's kind of sad to see Laserbeam lose to Ninja because I fucking love Laserbeam, but that was that. I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is like the results I feel like should have been different in Nate
But
Shot,
you
but
haven't even watched what it is though. What
exactly. That's the
so
thing
like
though. I
that's the
haven't
thing. You're
watched
just
it.
literally just
I'm literally
yeah,
just
you're literally
spouting
just going
nonsense because it's fucking funny. Like, okay, if I were to pick one person to win the creator games,
Zach King.
Zach King was in it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I said Zach King.
Um,
He was the when MrBeast originally posted it, I saw his name and I but I just didn't feel like actually tweeting it out. I was like,
Yeah.
he's who I think
yeah.
because he's actually creative, like actually creative.
Yeah.
Like instead of he had such a unique style and he started off on Vine. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I would have to give it to like Marquez Brownlee. Marquez Brownlee puts out some pretty dope shit. Like he comes out with all these tech reviews and stuff like that. He
hmm
was the person that kind of cracked the open the why is what is it so popular? Why are Beats by Dre so popular? Because it's like it's not because it's a good headphone brand. It's because of the great marketing campaign that went around it. So now everyone wants Beats by Dre because you see like Michael Jordan and all of these other like athletes and actors and singers and stuff like that. They are using Beats by Dre and they are hired
hmm
on to say Beats by Dre are pretty good. So that's my vote. Who
Well,
I think should win the creator games. I think a close second has to be like Casey Neistat for sure. Um,
I don't know Casey's stuff like
it's falling off
I
recently, but
yeah,
I'd say he's
for
got a
sure.
good career.
I only just to be honest, I only just recently subscribed to Casey Neistat like it's mid 2019
Hmm.
and the only reason I did is because Peter McKinnon.
Yeah.
Like Peter McKinnon did some vlogs with Casey, and
Hmm.
that's when I was like, oh, I guess I can start subbing to Casey. And then I started watching some of his content. And I was like, oh, okay, I like Peter's
Yeah.
stuff better.
Yeah. I think I liked Casey Neistat when he started coming out with like daily vlogs and was doing what was it? He did like the $21,000 plane review and some of his other
Oh
vlogs
yeah,
and stuff like that. I love those vlogs and I used to watch them like daily, but I kind of here's the thing with me in content. It's the same thing with me in video games. Sometimes I'll be like, sure, 100,000 like it's just like I'll watch the same YouTuber for an entire
hmm
like 6 weeks and then I'll be
hmm
bored of them and then I'll move on and think they're
hmm
stupid. Same with video games. It's like I'll play one video game for like 3 weeks on end, and then once I'm done with it, it's just like don't
oh
really
yeah,
care
that
about it.
yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
how I discovered MrBeast. I was watching him almost all of his stuff, and then I was like, okay, now this is totally dumb and pointless.
That's like the thing with me. It's like if I'm not watching something constantly, it's like I'm not watching it at all.
But but then there's people like Mark Rober, How Ridiculous, and Peter McKinnon. Those are probably my top three favorite channels on YouTube.
Hmm.
I go back and watch their old stuff, or I'll just watch a video of theirs that I don't care about, like the content, quote unquote.
Yep.
Like Peter McKinnon just released a drone video, and like I don't care about drones because I can't afford one, so I'm not interested in drones
Yeah.
right now. But I still watch it because it's a Peter McKinnon video.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. That's like
there's some people that I watch. Yeah.
yeah. That's the thing. That's like what a lot of that's what good influencers are like supposed to do. Like I feel with some people, they just watch them because yeah they have the latest news on this or the best quality of this, and it's not like it's not because of their personality. Like when I watched Epic Mealtime, like I would watch all their videos despite like how gross they would be or something like that. Like I loved what they did. But
Hmm.
with people like Smosh, it's like I was very, very picky about which videos I chose. It's like, oh, I watch the food battles and I'll watch this stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, back in the day,
Yeah,
old YouTube.
old YouTube, good old YouTube. I remember
I
like
wonder.
discovering it in 2005 and like having all the rage about it. It was super cool.
Hmm.
But anyways, let's move on to the next topic. Davis, I'll let you take this one away because it's your topic. The topic is Kevin Smith has finished Mallrats 2 script, shares first details and returning characters.
Yeah. So basically, I was kind of surprised by this because after Jay and Silent Bob reboot
Mhm.
came, like, and Kevin Smith was kind of saying that he was going to be done for writing for a while, like to get up the hype of reboot and everything like that.
Mhm.
And especially since that was like a 60 city tour or something like that
Mhm.
that he did. Um, but apparently it had to do with, according to his not his tweet, it was on Instagram.
Mhm.
Um, he just posted a screenshot of Final Draft and it just showed the title.
Mhm.
It's, what is it called? I have to relook at it again, but it's the, I think it's the Twilight of, I think it's called the Twilight of Mallrats or something.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
Twilight of the Mallrats. Yeah, you're right. You got 100%
yeah,
on that one.
woohoo. Um, I don't know. I kind of I liked the original. Like Mallrats is probably in the kind of original series sets of Kevin Smith movies. So Clerks, Mallrats,
Mhm.
Chasing Amy, um,
Big Dick Dave,
Clerks 2.
the
Anyway,
the big classics.
yeah, the classics. So not
Space
counting like
Cowboy.
Red State or Cop Out or things that are not part of that universe.
Mhm.
I don't know. Mallrats is one of the better ones. It's still that Kevin Smith, obviously that Kevin Smith style of like a little bit better, a little bit higher than like an indie film.
Yeah.
So how I've like always described Kevin Smith stuff.
It's just that
Um,
slightly better than most independent movie makers nowadays.
yeah, basically. So he gets, I don't know. I could be completely way off here, but I would say like 10, $15 million movies, right?
Mhm.
10, 15, maybe 20, right? Compared to blockbusters that are 2, 3, 4, 500 million, right?
Mhm.
So definitely lower end when it comes in, again, and considered to like Hollywood movies. But um I don't know, that's all I really know. But like I just know that it's come out so far and it's gonna have some of the same cast as the original.
Yeah.
I'm basically the only returning character that I'm curious about would be if Ben Affleck actually comes back, because apparently Ben Affleck and Kevin had a big feud throughout the years and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. And yeah,
It's like Chevy
did he come
Chase
back?
and all of the cast of Community. He fucking or he
All of the cast
well
of
he
just
Chevy Chase hated Community because it's like stupid hours and it's bad writing and a terrible director and all that stuff. And Joel McHale's just sitting there just like there's literally nothing you can do about it. It's like we work on these days. You can't do that. Sucks shit. It's not, and it's like I can't imagine the hours being something terrible. Like, oh yeah, it's 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single day for no reason, and you have to drive for 4 hours out of the city to get to the set. It's like no, fuck no. It's not like that at all. It's like probably like a nine
sometimes
to five job.
sometimes it is.
Well,
It like
sometimes it
with
is.
something like Community, probably not because it's on a set. But
Hmm.
uh like some film, like if you're doing like night shoots and stuff like that, that's why some like producers, when you get like a contract with between your producer and your director and your actor or whatever,
Yeah.
there has to be extra pay for like travel time, especially if it's past X time
Mhm.
for like fatigue,
Yeah.
like because it's like a safety hazard could be for driving and working that late and what
Yeah.
have you. But yeah, no, for community probably not.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I don't remember what the feud was about with Kevin and
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. I don't remember what it was. It was same thing with Kevin Smith and what's his name? Bald guy Bruce Willis
Bruce Willis.
after Cop Out. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I there isn't much details of it yet, but it's just something Kevin's been working on during quarantine apparently, and it's gonna have some of the recurring characters, obviously himself and Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
They're obvious because yeah, why wouldn't he
Why would they not?
bring them back?
Exactly.
And most likely the same like Brody, like he uh he was in Reboot. Like most likely, basically the same main cast from Reboot are gonna come back from Mallrats
Yeah.
is like my guess.
Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine them deviating too far out of the people you know, and especially if they're good people you know, if they're good actors and stuff like that. Why not reuse them? The only thing that I would have to say about that is it kind of kills the whole aspect of like different universes and like you know stuff like that. It's like yeah, I get they're great actors, but you can't just keep reusing them for the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's like there's an episode of Friends where Phoebe is hired as an actor on or as an extra on Days of Our Lives. First she's a nurse, then she's a waitress, then she gets kicked off of like the stage. But it's like it kind of brings
Mm-hmm.
that to the point, like how realistic can like you have to be realistic in basically all aspects of a movie. Otherwise, some people are going to point it out and be like, "That's stupid." And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
especially to people like me, I get very infuriated at movies that don't stick to what they're good at, like Downsizing. I went to go see this movie. That was the Matt Damon movie, right?
Matt
Yeah,
Damon movie, yeah.
Matt Damon movie about like
Good concept, just wasn't that.
just
Yeah.
executed so poorly. There's like no conflict whatsoever, other than
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know how, but they somehow got like this group of people like, and of course they have to make them basically like fucking foreigners to like live in this poor part of this very very rich city because for somehow they lost all of their money, even though it's like cool, you're given like $3 million, you can
Mm-hmm.
buy your
Yeah,
own
you're.
house and shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, it was so terrible. I remember going like through the movies. I remember I would like take my hat off and fucking throw it at the ground in frustration. And my buddy Keith's like, "Dude, what is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Are you watching this fucking movie? This is terrible. Matt Damon, who the fuck made this movie? This is god awful." Like I hated this movie. I was like ready to fucking walk out of that theater like two or three times. Just like this is so
Mm-hmm.
stupid. Characters make no sense. Story god awful and not even there sometimes. Plot, where what the fuck is it? Like theme, okay? Shrink and you'll find a better wife. I don't know. Like it just felt so forced and so stupid. I hated it. So do not watch Downsizing. What's it at for an IMDb rating? Let's look at that.
I
Downsizing.
remember when I saw it, I was like, I remember thinking it wasn't as bad as people were putting it out to be,
Mhm.
but it's definitely not great. Like, definitely not a come back and watch it again.
It was
Like,
yeah, it is pretty bad. So it's at a 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is way more generous than they should have given it.
I
Let's
no, I agree with that.
no.
That
That's a
sticks with
fucking
my
1 out of 10 movie for me.
not as bad as what people are giving it,
I'd rather
but
have a fucking
definitely not
bleach
good enough.
martini than watch that fucking movie again. I guarantee it. But anyways, let's move on to some other extra stuff. So one thing that I like was looking at on Netflix because I'm super bored at work half the time and I'm doing like these mind-numbing jobs. Music doesn't cut it for me. I still get super bored. So I started watching this show. It's called The Midnight Gospel. It kind of reminded me of like Adventure Time kind of animation. but it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's like adult humor kind of stuff. And basically, what it is a it's a kid who makes a podcast, and he goes into alternate universes and talks to someone about different parts of life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the story of it is really, it's interesting, but it's also the things that they talk about are super unprompted. It's like, can you be in my space cast? Sure. Well, let's talk and they just suddenly go off about meditation or something like that. Like everyone has their own agenda to talk to someone for
Mm.
this
What's it called?
podcast. It's called the Midnight Gospel. It's very interesting. I enjoy it because it's kind of like a podcast. It is a podcast
Yeah.
basically. It's just a podcast that I can listen to in the background that has funny
Mm-hmm.
jokes if you're paying attention and watching it. But I would recommend it to someone who's kind of just like wants something to play on the side, like you're
Yeah.
playing a
I
video
remember
game or
seeing
something.
it on. I remember seeing it on like the homepage
Mhm.
of Netflix. I didn't click into it because of that animation style. Like I knew I wasn't gonna like it because I never watched Adventure Time random show. Fucking like I don't know. The closest thing to it I've watched would be like Rick and Morty.
Mhm.
But or BoJack Horseman. That was the other one I was gonna
There you
say. I
go.
never watched anything like that. So I could tell just by the animation. Like I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but like
Hmm. Yeah, it's
eh.
very choppy animation. I will say that it's not like Adventure Time smooth or Family Guy high quality or something like that. It's just
Or Final Space.
or like Final Space. Yeah, exactly. It
That's a good Netflix show.
is it on is it on season 2 yet or no, they had season
It's
2, right?
Yeah, they had season. We talked about
Yeah,
Final
yeah.
Space already.
Yeah. Well, when's season 3 coming out? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Still
Whereas
probably a while from now.
no, probably not. But I think I was just looking at this right now. Wait, is the Jigsaw movie on this? Yes, dude. Jigsaw is on fucking Netflix. That's hilarious. It's a shit movie, but it's funny. It's really funny. But they just uploaded season 7 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, I don't know if I will watch it cuz I liked having it end in season 5. I think it was really good. Like they had the wedding, all that stuff. They like that was basically the end of it. But now feel like they're pushing it too far. I watched season 6 and I was like, this is really fucking bad.
Yeah, they're kind of going in the same road as what we were saying before about Community. How like season 1 through 4 of Community is good, and then what? No, what? However many seasons left, it's how many seasons of Community are there? Like 7,
Six
something like
six
that.
seasons in
6.
a movie.
Yeah.
So
No.
there's no community. No, that's the
But
ongoing joke that they had. It's like it'll never make
yeah,
it past first season. 6 seasons in a movie, and then it'll
yeah.
but yeah, like it
But
went to
yeah,
6 seasons.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's still good, but yeah, it's not as good as the first like
No,
yeah, I would say 3 to 5 seasons.
yeah,
Uh, but it doesn't fall off as bad as Community did. Like Community was really good, really good, and then just
dip,
plummeted.
yeah,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is like good, slowly getting down, a little kind of funny, slowly like it's
yeah.
still going down.
Well,
Or
that's
like Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory was good up to season 5, and they had like 15 seasons, and it was like okay, bye bye.
yeah. It basically was just like now you're just recycling old jokes. It's like cool. Leonard and Penny get back together. Bernadette and
Yeah.
Howard have another fight. Raj finds a girl he could talk to for once and shit like that. And you're just like holy shit.
Yeah.
But going back to Community, there was a documentary that I watched. It was like the day that Community died. It was on YouTube. It was like 20 minutes long or something like that. I can't remember. But the one thing that I
Mhm.
remember for it is like basically the day it died was when Donald Glover left the show, and like Donald Glover was a huge part of it, and he was basically what
Mm.
defined Community, right? Like he
Troy
played
in our
Troy.
bed in the morning.
Morning, and then like the whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he became a huge part of why Community was so successful. And then when he left, it was like there's no one in the world that can fit that hole where Troy was. And they tried. They
Mm.
tried their best, but it's just like it was so stupid, right? There are so many bad episodes of like, yeah, we're going to add prisoners to our to our school, or like the day like everyone left. And the last episode of Community of season 6, god awful. They were like, what's it going to be like in season 7? And they just kept going through like alternate universes, and it's just like, this is just stupid. Just end the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, you're basically like grasping at straws for views at this point. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like
Because
Donald
yeah,
Glover left.
Donald Glover is definitely the most successful actor from that show.
Yeah,
Like he's the definitely the best that's gone up the most.
yeah. And then Nicole
Followed
Brown.
by uh
I wouldn't say followed by Nicole Brown, but I was just saying Nicole Brown left as well, and she was a huge part of Community, and she was
mhm,
awesome. Everyone loved Shirley. Um,
yeah.
Chevy Chase. I think I don't know if he left or if they removed him because he was so hard to work with at that point. Because he would like leave threatening voicemails to the director and stuff like that. It's like, fuck you,
Mm,
don't fucking talk about my kids or anything again. Stuff like that, right? So
mm,
there was a lot going on there, but yeah, those three left, and then who are you left with? You're left with Troy. You're left with Abed without Troy. You're left
yeah.
with Annie, who's good on her own, but kind of needs like Troy and Abed to be the third wheel of kind of thing.
Yeah.
For the most part,
And then Britta.
Britta, that's who I was thinking of. Then there's Britta, and
Yeah.
then Britta is just the
And
sarcastic bitch
then
that never had a character arc. I thought never
then
really
they tried
developed.
to give Kenny Jung's character more of an arc, try to bring him up a little more
Yeah,
popular.
they literally just gave up on the fact that he had Changnesia. They're like, there's no fucking way, and they kind of let him off scot free. It's just like, the guy that did like that turned the school into a dictatorship. Yeah, it turns out he was faking his memory loss, but we're just gonna let it slide for no reason whatsoever. Like, and Ken Jeong is awesome, and he does really really well, but it's just like it's not good enough to bring up this like the writing, and I can see the writing dip because the director like he was depressed and he turned into an alcoholic and stuff like that. But it like nothing could have saved this show other
But
than like Donald Glover.
with all of that, from that depression came Rick and Morty. So
There
there
you
was
go.
some good out of it.
Yeah, exactly, right? From the darkest of holes, there is always a light. And you know what
Yes.
the best part about being at rock bottom is?
Only way to go is up.
Exactly. There you go. What
Hey,
movie
I
was
knew
that
we
even
were.
from?
I don't remember, but I know I've seen it because I've heard that in a movie. But that quote has been around for a long time.
Yeah. So oh yeah, there was a yeah. So that was how the day Community died, and I think the day that Brooklyn Nine-Nine died was when they got signed on to what are they on now? NBC?
NBC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
because they were supposed to get canceled and they got picked back up because of the rage on Twitter.
yeah. I think they should have just let it get canceled. Now that looking back at hindsight, it's like it definitely should have been canceled because you know like it turned
Yeah, I
into
think because
this.
especially is that the one where they ended with the cliffhanger of Holt getting promoted or not?
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah,
ended on.
so that could have been, yeah, it could have been a like, will they, what's happening? It's just leave it open ended cliffhanger of
Yeah,
a
there's no closure
like,
because they got canceled. But yeah, they
yeah.
they did bring it up.
And now that Jake and Amy are like married, having a kid, it's definitely starting to turn into more of a couple comedy than group comedy.
Yeah.
So yeah, the style of the show, but that happens with shows all the time. When once they get past however many seasons, like every show is gonna change the style throughout the years, especially one that's been on like Family Guy started in the 90s. The
Yeah.
style of that has changed so much because you have to change with
Mhm.
how society changes, right?
Yeah.
So, and you can't, and when you do try keep on doing the same joke over and over again, it gets stale. And then so like I see them having to change and keep it fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there are some things where they should have just
Let
cut
it
it.
go. Yeah. You
Yeah,
gotta cut ties
let
somewhere.
it let it
Let
go,
it go.
let it go. So
Jesus Christ.
sorry.
But yeah, like there, I think that's the hardest part about television. Is like, especially if you have something super successful, like everyone loves Brooklyn Nine Nine, especially like back then when it was like season 4. It's just like you go anywhere. It's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There's like 9-9, right? Like
9-9. Yeah.
that's the hype. But now it's just like, yeah, you watch the latest episodes of Brooklyn Nine. It's like, no, fuck that shit. I didn't watch since season 5. It was garbage. It's god awful.
See, I'm caught up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm still watching it,
Yeah,
but I do agree with you. It has dropped down for sure.
yeah. So yeah. Moving on from that, I also watched. I apparently had watched this before, but I don't think I did. DreamWorks' Sinbad: Legend of the Seven Seas, which I thought was a Disney movie. Holy shit, that is a great movie. It's about a pirate who is trying to steal this thing called like the Book of Peace, but he ends up finding his long lost like friend that he left like 10 years ago, and
Okay.
they end up having paths with they end up crossing paths with this god who wants the Book of Peace, like Eris, the goddess of discord. Not the program, unfortunately, but so like she wants the Book of Peace, so everyone starts fighting each other, and like there's chaos in the world and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
he, you know, so he has to find a way to get
Shit
the book
happens.
back and stuff like that. It's a very complicated. Well, it's not a very complicated plot, but it is very very good, and I think it's something that you should definitely watch yourself if
Hmm.
you're into this kind of stuff. If you're not, then sucks to be you. You have to watch it anyway. It's my orders. It's non-negotiable. So yeah, that's all I've watched so far. I'm probably
Well, I did finally listen to a recommendation. I watched the first episode of Money Heist.
and
It's interesting, but it bugs me the fact that it's
Spanish.
hard to Spanish, so it's like the lip sync is off.
Mhm.
So at first I didn't clue in that it was Spanish, and I thought that it was just my internet connection. It was just like lagging, and
You're
then
lagging.
and then yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw like the subtitle, like not the subtitles, but like the locations and like books and what have you in
Yeah.
were in Spanish. And I was like, and they said they were in. I was like, I figured like Spain. Okay, that's just where they are. I didn't realize it was Spain.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? But so I don't know. I watched the first episode a couple days ago. I was planning on watching the second one today.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to watch at least 2 or 3 episodes. I don't know. It's definitely the type of show that you need to get into.
Yeah,
I can tell just
absolutely. That's
by
exactly what I was
yeah.
gonna say. It's like it's something that you definitely need to like push yourself to the third episode because that's when it starts getting like really, really, really spicy. Because
Hmm.
the first like episode is just like yeah they're talking about planning, they're talking about the backstory, and then the second and third episode is like where they start getting into it.
Yeah.
This is like when things are kind of easy, and it's like it's not a spoiler. It obviously gets harder as time goes on, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
you get to see like how humans react and how humans work and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. I think I can get over the fact of the lips, because like I don't know it the very when I first noticed it, it was weird, but after I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. The acting is good.
hmm
The chemistry between um Tokyo and I don't know the kid. I don't know what his
Rio,
country. I think maybe I
like the
don't know
curly haired
the
guy.
guy who got shot.
Oh yeah, Rio. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry, spoilers for people that haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude, it's been out for like a year now. That's
Yeah,
on
and this
them.
is season 1, episode 1. So
Yeah, I have a buddy of mine who's watching this as well, and he's like, it's good, but it's definitely something that's like harder to watch, and it's just like, yeah, it definitely it starts off hard to watch. It's like The Office, except it's not shit for the first few episodes. It's just like laying out
it's like Game of
backstory.
Thrones.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's
If
good Game of Thrones. You have to really get
Yeah,
into it.
you have to get into it
Hence
to
why I
yeah,
fell asleep during most episodes of Game of Thrones. Did I ever tell you about that?
I think so.
So yeah, here's a quick recap. My two buddies, Colt and Keith, were watching. Shout out to them. They were watching Game of Thrones, and they were like, "Hey, why don't you come watch it with us?" I'm like, "Sure, I've never watched Game of Thrones." They're like, "Well, I'm rewatching it. Colton's watching it for the first time. We're starting on episode 6 though, so I can watch it with you, or you can catch up at some other point." I'm like, "Oh, that's whatever." So I started watching from season 1, episode 6, and then all the way up to season 4, I was paying attention. After that, I started falling asleep. Like we'd watch one episode, and then I would fucking fall asleep during the like half of the next half of the second episode. And by that point, there was like 4 or 5 of us watching, and we all worked in the same place, and we all had the exact same shift. It was like we'd wake up at 8:30, go to work for 9, work 9 to 2, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit earlier, and then we would always have time to go hang out that night. It's just like, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, and they're like, hey, nice, and so we'd all go, and it was like a cool little like private club. It
But
was super
Game of
fun.
Thrones is definitely another one of those shows though. It was really good, really good, really good, and
And then
then just
last season,
season 7 and 8, it's like,
the
especially 8.
the
But
fact that bitch incest queen didn't die by anyone's hands, decided to die by rocks, was so bullshit
oh my
that
god,
like that infuriated me. It's like she did not get the death that she deserved. There's no poetic justice in the fact that yeah, she died with her incestuous brother, but they both should have died at the hands of fucking someone like like
John.
Jon
Yep.
Snow. Yeah, exactly. Jon Snow.
Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion.
Fucking
Yeah,
yeah.
literally.
Anyway, that's a whole thing. I'm not going down that rabbit hole
Yeah,
anymore. That's
no.
the only season of Game of Thrones I don't own on DVD.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
I
why
have I
nobody would
have
have that.
I have the box, like actual DVDs, not not
Yeah,
downloaded, but actual
yeah,
cases
yeah, yeah.
of. Oh, do I have 7? I don't remember if I have 7. I think so. Yeah,
You should have
I
all
haven't
of them.
bought.
Yeah, but
I think I still am going to eventually buy 8, but I'm waiting until it is like cheap,
of course, yeah.
just for the fact of completing the series.
Of course, you can't leave it open. That's just silly.
Yeah, no, you don't do that.
Yeah. So
Except for the fact that I have up to seasons like 6 or 7 of Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. That show
But
fell
that's
off.
that's
I
but
used to
that's
watch it
where
when
I
it
was
was on.
talking about where it's not worth collecting anymore.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't think Big Bang Theory is even worth watching at this point because it's just like
Fuck no.
they're just so repetitive and so
It's
garbage.
so bad. Even the first few seasons
Yeah,
now are. But anyway, yeah.
yeah. So there's that. Don't watch Big Bang
I'm
Theory. Watch.
I'm watching I'm watching The Simpsons.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
went back and yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I saw
I
you
was
watching The
so
Simpsons.
bored the other day. I was like, do you know what? Screw it. Simpsons season 1, episode 1.
There you go.
And even so, I'm so confused because the first 3 episodes, Smithers is brown, like a
Yeah.
black guy,
Hmm.
and then he switches to white. And episode like 3 or 4, they introduce the cops, like not Wiggum, but the other
The other cops.
2
Yeah.
cops, whatever their names are.
Hmm.
And there's both of the cops are white,
Yeah.
but I know that one of them is supposed to be black, so I'm gonna see when he changes.
Yeah.
But one thing I did kind of laugh at is that they did a callback to a previous episode, even that early on.
Hmm.
So it was episode like 2 or something like that,
Hmm.
2 or 3, where Bart's going on a field trip and Mrs. Krabappel, I had to remember her name. His teacher
Yeah.
said, "Don't stick your hand out your window because a student has lost their arm when they were a kid."
Yeah.
Right. And then a couple episodes later, Bart is talking to the guy who's missing an arm,
Hmm.
and he's an old military vet,
Yeah.
and he runs like the store or whatever,
Hmm.
and Bart asks him how he lost his arm. Was it during the war or whatever?
Hmm.
He's like, no, don't stick your arm out the window. And it was like, and maybe it was because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and I was like overly tired, but I laughed super hard at that because it was like, hey, it's an actual callback to
Yeah,
something.
I know. That's awesome. I know there's like one episode where they have that as well, where Homer buys this prisoner's car, and the prisoner breaks out of prison just because he loves the car and he wants the car back. So he tries killing Homer, and the one
Mhm.
day he tries like taking like that really really sharp wire or whatever.
Yeah.
So he puts it onto 2 trees, and he's like, when Homer drives by, his head'll get cut off, and then it'll slowly stop. But Homer like ducks down to grab something, and he's safe, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm never lucky." And another guy is like, "I told them I wanted this sandwich cut in half," and it fucking cuts off his arm. It's like, "Ow!" Like there's so many throwbacks to that, and Matt Groening is a fucking wizard, dude. He's from the future. There's no way he can't not predict this.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, like he predicted like 9/11. He predicted, I think.
the Higgs boson,
Yeah.
Trump becoming president.
Yeah. There's like so many things that would not.
FaceTime,
Yeah.
FaceTime video calls.
Yep. Exactly. There's so many things that he knows. It's like, how the fuck is he not
And then he
arrested?
created a show called Futurama.
Yep. There you go. So I think that's where the future's headed. Futurama. So one-eyed and three-eyed people, lobster people, all that stuff. So keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gents. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
gonna be
all we have to talk about.
That's all we have to talk about, exactly. Nobody wants to hear what classes I'm taking in university next year. The only ones that are really interesting is I'm taking French. I thought you would like that.
Oh, bonjour.
Bonjour. Yeah, so I'm taking Introductory to French 1 and 2 for my first and second semester. Obviously, I'm taking the second one first because why not?
Good for you.
No, of course not. I'm taking the first one first. Yeah. And then the other one that I thought was really interesting is I'm taking Business to Law, which is super cool. Or Law to Business or whatever it is. It's literally just based around the laws that it takes to run a business and shit like that. So I'm like, this is definitely something I'm interested in. This is something I'm hyped for. I'm in the right program. I want to go into advertising and marketing and shit like that. This is going to be super fucking cool. So, fuck you,
cool.
Nate. I thought I wanted to do movies. You didn't, like, it was cool. I met Davis. I met some good friends. I sold my PS4 back to a buddy of mine on the Discord in one of our classes. Stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure if I didn't go there, I wouldn't have had a girlfriend. So, cool. Thanks, Nate. You were cool for the first year that I was there. But
hi, Earl.
Pardon? And Earl.
Hi, Earl.
Hi, fucking hi, Earl. I can't fucking.
One of the.
How could I forget that, man?
Few people that
yeah, one of our
listens.
few amazing fans, and like he's been there since like day. What was it like? Probably like
day
week
1.
5 or 6. I remember he posted something on Facebook, and I was like, oh, check this out, and we were just like, wow, he actually watches this. So I'm like, do you enjoy this? He's like, yeah, he's super cool. But you know what? This is my Nate ID. I don't need that shit anymore. I don't even know where it landed. Oh, it landed on the pillow. I'm gonna go beat the fuck out of it later. But I can't wait to get my Grant Mac ID. You're trying so hard not to laugh, are you? But yeah, so.
Okay, this has been an M3 podcast. Bye.
Oh my god, no, we're not ending on that. Jeez. Alright, that's it for the M3 podcast. Make sure to subscribe and all that good stuff on whatever platform you're watching or listening to. Check out our social media and our Discord down below. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, everyone. If you like this podcast, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks again.